Hello, everyone, and welcome to the second episode of Sway podcast. We still haven't figured out the name, so if you have suggestions, send them my way. Today we have our second guest. It's Fenella. It's Fen on Instagram, so make sure you follow. She's gonna join us on this podcast all the way from Africa. So that's very excited for me because I always wanted to go to Africa. So that's like personal dream of mine, but also I've been following you for a long time now on Instagram. I'm super excited to get to know you a little more and also to share your story here with the whole community. So if I would like to start, maybe if you could tell us more about your pole background and how you started and a little bit about yourself.
Sure. So my background before pole is in dancing, like theatre dance, ballet, tap, jazz, sort of all the background in performing arts. And I was always teaching that to kids and adults and doing a little bit of choreography and performing myself in the theatre. And then I had my kids, and then I thought, someone said to me, there's a pole fitness class. Do you want to try it? And I was like, okay. It was still in the early days, so it wasn't such a big sport back then. So I tried it and I liked it. I thought being a dancer, it was going to be a lot easier than it was. I found it quite hard in the beginning. It took a while with sweaty hands. I used to really struggle with sweaty hands. So being a dancer helped in some ways, being able to flow and move with the pole, but not necessarily with the strength building. That took a while. And then I started class and I learned for a couple of years with a South African lady that was here. And she taught from a small studio. And by the time she left to leave country, I had done enough pole that I could then do the training course to become an instructor. So by the time she left, there was no teacher any longer. So myself and another girl became teachers so that we could keep it going.
Oh, that's super interesting. And what year was that around?
Oh my gosh, I think it was about 2015, 2015.
Yeah.
But when I was with her, she had a lot of breaks. So we'd because she went around her own children as a teacher, she would like break for the summer. So we wouldn't have any pole for like almost 3 months. And then she'd break for Christmas, like the whole month she'd go away. So I'd say my training was very broken up in the beginning. I think when I started taking it on myself, I became my sort of own training sort of sped up when I became a teacher myself.
Oh yeah. I found out the same when I was a teacher for a couple of years, few years. I can't say exactly how long, but I stopped around pandemic, and when I started teaching, I really saw the big improvement because then you need to perform your best every week.
Yeah, definitely.
About the sweaty hands, so maybe is it due to the humidity, or like where in Africa you're located, and how like the heat and all of the environment, like how it affects your skin and your friends and students? And
yeah, so I'm in Tanzania. I'm in Dar es Salaam, East Africa, and I'm literally right on the coast, on the beach. So we're just by the equator. So like today, we're going into our summer months here. So it's really, really hot. I think when I started pole, maybe just because my grip wasn't so good and I was still building up the strength, but my hands used to sweat all the time. But it got better over time. And then obviously learning about grips and trying different grips. But as I progressed, it did get better. However, I still struggle now with humidity. And in my pole studio, I have one big air conditioner that's on the wall. I have a air conditioner on the floor. So I have 2 air conditioners, and girls still can sweat in the class because humidity is just so high in the summer months.
oh my God.
Where you use so much grip because you just sweat. And sometimes it feels like the poles themselves sweat. And no matter how much you clean them, no matter how cool it is, the humidity is just so hot.
Oh my God.
So that's one issue, I would say.
All right. Yeah. And so what kept you going throughout your journey? Because 2015, it's actually when Sway emerged also.
Wow.
So that's a coincidence. But
Yeah.
yeah, like what kept you going for so long?
When I became an instructor, and then we started off with teaching very small groups, myself and another lady, and then kind of we grew and more people came and more people wanted to learn pole fitness, and it just expanded. And then I ended up being the teacher on my own with all these people. And I think I was starting to really love teaching pole as well as training pole myself. And then I saw progressions and I saw how my students would progress and grow and the confidence they would get. And it's not an addiction, that's probably not the right word, but you see this amazing progression and people feeling proud of what they've accomplished.
Yeah.
And you're like, I really like that. I like it for myself, and I like seeing others grow, and especially women, empowering women, not just women, I know, but
Yeah.
just to some women that have never had any strength before, and suddenly they're inverting, they're doing shoulder mounts, and because of their own hard work. And I think that sort of giving and taking, it was just an amazing feeling that. And then as I was training, I was realizing, oh, I'm getting stronger. Oh, I can do this now. Oh, because a lot for me was teaching myself. I've got to where I am today by kind of self-motivation and training myself. I didn't have a teacher here. I would only have people online that I would speak to or get advice from. So the rest was just me teaching myself.
Mm.
And as I started to get stronger and able to do more things, I just sort of fell in love with that passion. And then also using my dance to be able to perform with the pole and to make choreographies. And I liked that I could combine the two.
Yeah. And how is it like, have you done many performances or competition, or like how is the competition performing scene in Africa?
Sure. Well, in South Africa and Egypt, I believe it's very popular. It's pole sport and pole fitness and pole dance is a very big thing there. Here where I am, because we're very small and it's a small studio, not a lot of people, exposure is hard to get. I think the pole community in Africa is big, not as big as Europe or the States or even Asia. We're growing.
Mm.
But performances, I did some performances with my first pole school, and competitions, we have done some, but the problem is most of them here, they're all online because it's so hard and expensive to travel to go and do competitions. So we've done, myself and some of my students, we've done a lot of virtual competitions, and I've done some myself. But if we wanted to do bigger competitions, we would need to fly to the place to go and do it. And then it's all these extra costs, and it's just difficult to raise money to do those kind of things from here. I'd say that's the one thing that's tricky.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like many people from like more, let's say, like places where pole is not as popular, or like in Poland, when I started, we didn't have that many big competitions. Now I know there are people coming to Poland from other countries to perform and to compete here. But when I started, you had to travel to get to be on stage. And yeah, and you have also like circus background, right? And you have
acrobatics and
acrobatics,
gymnastics.
gymnastics.
Yes.
Can you tell us how you incorporated with pole, or
Yeah, well, I have a bit of gymnastics background and a little bit of acrobatics background. I would go to my local gymnasium and learn tricks as well as, you know, being a dancer at the same time. And I find having that ability helps on the pole, that strength and that sort of cartwheels, flips, things like handstands, things like that. It's a benefit to do that. But I do a lot of acrobatical doubles acrobatics with my husband, actually, because he was a gymnast and a gymnastic coach. He used to teach kids for quite a long time, and so the two of us, although we haven't done it for a little while, we often do acro outside together in our garden, actually, or sometimes at the gymnasium. Sometimes I get him to come into the pole room and we'll do tricks on the pole, like double flips or handstand tricks, or he doesn't he's never learned any pole, but he knows acrobatics and gymnastics. So we do a lot of things like that together in our spare time. But again, heat is the problem, because when it's really hot, you just sweat.
Yeah. Oh, that must be super helpful and fun to have husband that shares the same passion, or like partner that's helps you and shares this.
It doesn't always go well though, Agatha. Sometimes it causes a lot of arguments.
Okay.
If something's not working, or if he says, oh, it's your fault, and I'll say, no, it's your fault. And it can cause arguments. So it doesn't always go well, but most of the time it's fine.
Okay. So coming back to pole a little, like how would you describe your style, and what like style of dancing? I see you a lot of doing like tricks and explanation of the trick, but when you dance for yourself or for performance, what kind of music genres do you go to, or like what's your favorite?
I love performing arts and theatre, so I'm very much influenced by things that are like very big and theatrical, you know, like a proper performance, like a show performance. So I'm often inspired by musicals and like really powerful music that you feel really like so much power when you're going to, you know, going on the spinning pole, or a routine where I can put flexibility tricks in. So a lot of musicals I'm definitely influenced by. But then if I put my like pleasers on, and it's more sort of exotic, then I'll be influenced more by probably more pop music or more rock music, actually. So I think it depends on what I'm doing.
Super cool. And have you noticed that you kind of get influenced by like African style, or how would you describe in general African pole dance to?
So I'd say it's quite an interesting question, because sort of African music is a lot of beats and drums and things like that, and I do appreciate it, but it's more of a contemporary style, you know. So I'd say I am influenced by drums and things, but then it would be a style where I'm doing like more contemporary, more expressive dancing, maybe a little bit more abstract, not pointed toes, you know, flexed feet, which I enjoy doing that too. But then I always think, do people understand what the genre is, or do they think I'm just not pointing my toes on purpose? And do they understand that's the style, you know?
I know what you mean. Like now all of the like edge work got really popular.
Yes.
So people kind of get, okay, I don't have to point my toes all the time.
No,
like,
exactly. About flexing feet, yes.
Yeah. You just need to make it purposely. It's beautiful, yeah.
Yeah.
So, and in general, like, because obviously Africa is massive continent, but the same like US or Australia or Russia or like UK, you can describe kind of the pole dancing style of the whole kind of continent, let's say. So can you find us some like specific things that more specific to people living in Africa who like do pole? Not, I mean, not like native, not inspired by this like drums and all, but like just pole.
So what?
Sorry, that was a very weird question. But you know what I mean?
Do you mean what to like students influenced by, or why they choose
like
to do pole?
How would you describe? Maybe let's say again, like how would you describe African pole dance? Like as a
I think
like Russian exotic, or like old school American pole, or
I would say very much. It's very much linked to the original pole sport.
Okay.
I would say very much learning, you know, from the beginner, what you learn to begin with, and then almost following like a syllabus, you know, the sport and how we progress in it. And it's very much like we're following a textbook, going from beginning and each trick and what you need to go to the next trick and what you do for conditioning. So I think the way it's sort of seen here in East Africa is very much a sport, and how you would learn, say, gymnastics at a gymnasium, or we follow a system from beginning and to advanced, and we keep going like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, so you can't like really say what's the like dancing bit.
No, I think
Yeah.
because we're so international here, like my students are from everywhere. So I do have some Tanzanian students, but I also have students from Europe, students from America, students from South America. So we're so mixed that I think it's really hard to pinpoint an exact style. And what I've noticed, each student wants something different out of pole. You know, everyone comes for a different reason. And what their expectations are very different. Some like to dance, some like to just do tricks, some hate spinning, some just to come to do some exercise, some want to get to a really advanced level. They're all so different. So I have to really adapt how I teach each person.
Yeah, okay, that's interesting. Yeah, I've noticed in Poland, when I started, it was a lot about like sport and doing like curriculum too. Now we went more into exotic, like a couple years back, it started to be more and more popular, and now it's, I'd say, like more like Russian exotic, but not as precise, I'd say. Maybe influenced by some other pole genres too.
Yeah.
More like this, let's say, like the Eastern European influence. Yeah.
I have a few students that I teach exotic to, but it's quite funny. A lot of people are not very interested. So I only have a small group that I teach heels classes to, or heels tricks. But majority of the other students, they don't want to learn it. So I don't know if it's a stigma still associated with the shoes, and they think, oh, if I wear the shoes, that means I don't know, people are gonna call me something, or there's still a slight stigma that there isn't in the Western world that we still have here, like a little bit controversial still.
Okay. Yeah. So I assume maybe in like 5-10 years, if I change and everybody's gonna be walking around pleasers all the time.
Yes, that would be great.
So you told us a little how it is to be an instructor in Africa, but like how is it like how is big the pole community in Africa? Meaning, do you know other instructors from other places in Africa, and do you have them meetings?
I do actually. We do have quite a good community, let's say on a virtual community. So like in South Africa, I know a lot of instructors, and in Kenya and in Egypt. I believe even like in Mozambique, there's an instructor. In the other countries, there are like small studios. South Africa, there's many, like Cape Town, Johannesburg. There's a lot of instructors, and we all seem to be able to link up online, and we often chat with each other, or about competitions, or about tricks that we're learning or teaching our students. So we do have a good network where we can like connect and chat about Africa. But it does seem that a lot of the pole fitness world is very big in South Africa.
Okay, that's interesting, and that's also really nice that you can connect with each other. And is it all through social media, or do you have like a forum, like old school?
So I think beginning was through social media like Instagram, but then after a while we would then connect through WhatsApp. We'd connect, get each other's numbers, and then connect through WhatsApp, and often supporting each other and giving each other advice. So I think it's really great that we have that.
Yeah, it's great. Can you tell us a little bit more about your personal training? Like, how do you go about making time for yourself when you're preparing classes and your social
personal training? It takes a lot of self-motivation, I think, because sometimes, especially when it's so hot, I can just tell myself, oh, I'm not going to train today, it's too hot, because it can be so frustrating when it's really hot. I try and frame my own personal training around my classes. So if I have an early morning class and then an afternoon, I'll try and take the time in between and I try and be more clever with my training. So I'd rather do 2 or 3 hours training, but then have a few days where I don't train. And then So I find these days I'm training maybe 2 or 3 times a week as opposed to every day, you know, because it was just getting me, with teaching at the same time, I was just getting exhausted and just not having enough energy for my classes. So I've tried to be more clever and also make plans of what am I training today? Then what am I going to do this day? Or what tricks do I want to do this day? And then it feels more clever that way. So I have, because I teach quite a lot of classes. I think I teach about 18 classes a week. So it takes a lot of energy.
Yeah. Wow.
So I need to save my energy and be smart with it. And I try and sit down one day and do all my plans for the week of everything I'm teaching, all my classes. So otherwise it just gets a bit overwhelming.
Wow, I'm super impressed, like so organized.
It doesn't always work like that. Sometimes I tell myself, okay, today I'm going to train. And then I tell myself, oh, no, it's okay. We'll just take the day off, you know?
I mean, like
So,
a day of training is better than no training, I feel like.
yeah, exactly.
You go to the
And it doesn't,
plan and
exactly. Sometimes some trainings work out better than other times. You know, some days it doesn't go well, and other days it does go well. I try and practice what I tell my students, like, it doesn't matter if something doesn't come, as long as you're trying, you're still conditioning, you know. But when it's myself, I get more frustrated because I expect more. But then I try and tell myself it's okay, it doesn't matter, because I can get in a very bad mood if it doesn't go well. So I have to be kind to myself.
I find it really motivating to have something to train for, like a competition or something.
It does. It helps a lot.
Going, like there's deadline.
Exactly. If there's something to focus on, you know, it helps with your strength, and it really makes you train. So that's so good.
Yeah. And how do you describe your personal style of like pole fashion? I can tell
I love
like
your
colors.
I love colors. Your pole wear and your fitness brand is exactly what I love in everything. The styles, that it's both sporty and sexy, and it's really flexible to work with too. You can do all sorts of tricks in it. So your brand is just perfect. I've loved it since the beginning. So because it's both, it's so sustainable and, you know, long lasting as well, because I've had some of your sets for a very long time and they're still as good as new. Because you can do sexy stuff, exotic tricks in it, but then you can also do sporty stuff and combinations and floor work, and so it's really versatile. And I love the colors, I love all the different options of mixing and matching, and I love it all.
Thanks so much. So you love colors, right? Yeah, you can tell by your feed on Instagram. It's all very colorful. Would you say it's also influenced kind of by like colors of Africa, of flowers and?
I think so. Tropical. Like, very tropical. And even my studio is turquoise and pink, and everything is very bright. And I have a lot of wall stickers on the wall. So I love bright colors. I love things that are a little bit sexy, a little bit edgy, you know, things that are different. Definitely.
And do you feel like it kind of changes your mood, the outfit you're picking?
Definitely. I think if you're wearing something that makes you feel good, it gives you that little bit of a boost to pole, whatever it is, whether it's just a little quick flow, or you want to do a floor routine, or you want to do just a trick. I feel it's so inspiring and so helpful when you've got something that makes you feel good on. Bright makes you feel brighter, I think. Like the day I wore the yellow bodysuit, I decided to revisit a trick that I hadn't done in 6 months. And I thought it took a lot of strength. And I said to myself, let's see if we can do it today. And I had a really positive mindset. I felt really good in the outfit. And I was so pleased because I got this really hard floor trick, and which I hadn't done for ages. And then the rest of the day, I felt really a big sense of accomplishment, and I felt really good about myself the rest of the day. So it works, it's magic.
Oh, that's super nice, and to hear, really, it's like those words and words like that from clients really make it all worthwhile. So thank you.
Oh no, it's a pleasure. I still haven't finished mixing and matching yet. I'm still, but the thing is, when you wear something so special, you want what you're doing to be not necessarily major, but you want to do something that's not just a silly trick. You want to do something big or something impressive because you're wearing the outfit. So you want it to match, you know? Like you want to say, like, look what I'm wearing and the trick I'm doing.
Oh, yeah, I get it. Yes, always like when I make an effort to try something nice and then I get to record something because I'm like
Yeah.
motivated by that. So I know what you mean.
Yeah, definitely. And actually, I've given my students a lot of your little flyers,
Mm.
and I've said to them, you know, you've got to order, get yourself something. And so half of my students are quite conservative,
Mm.
and they're still like shorts and a vest top. But then half like wearing pole outfits. So it's just I have to sort of be careful who I, suggest to.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, everybody has their own like personal style, and
Yeah.
it can also change throughout months or years. Training.
Like when I first started to learn pole, like I said, it was in the early days when pole sport was still sort of coming up. But people were very conservative back then. They didn't wear like I think the first things I had was the bad kitty,
Yeah.
the pants. But people were still wearing like long shorts and real like sort of old-fashioned sports bras. And I remember seeing online, I think it was social media that showed me, oh, but this isn't what you have to wear. You can wear things with patterns and designs on and customize things. And then I found Bad Kitty and another brand. I think back then it was, I think Pole Addict maybe. And I remember buying my first sets of different colors and wearing them to pole, and people looking at me like, what is she wearing? We don't wear, we don't wear stuff like that yet. But I think slowly, then other people started also getting stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, I get it. Would you like to say something like to end this call? Like, do you have anything that you want to share with whole community? Any tips and tricks and
I just want to say, keep going with pole. Never ever think that you haven't, that you can't achieve something. If you think something's difficult or you'll never get there or you're really struggling in your pole journey, keep going. It gets better. Just put in the hard work. It's that hard work that pays off, even if it takes a week, 2 weeks, a month, 6 weeks, 6 months, you're going to get there. It just takes time. We all start at the beginning and we all get better with practice and putting in that hard work. So just keep going because you can achieve whatever you want. And also my other thing that I like to say is don't care about age. Age doesn't matter, because I've got students that are kids and I've got ladies in their 60s. And from having been a teacher and seeing people, age doesn't matter. So you can be whatever age you want to start pole, continue pole. Don't let age mean anything. It doesn't mean a thing. You can do it. Yeah.
thanks so much. That's very motivational. Thank you. Thank you so much for meeting me.
Oh, thank you for having me and for creating such amazing products for us all. We're lucky to have you in the pole world.
Thanks. Thanks so much. And yes, hope like I'm gonna link all of your social media below this video, and I'm super excited to get to know you better. And yeah, thanks so much.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.